Hi, welcome to my channel Takniki Gyan Guru. Today we will discuss how to create a QnA chatbot using .NET Core, Web API, ReactJS, ChatGPT and Python. This video is made only because of one of my subscriber wanted to have the custom chatbot with his own data, JSON data and these technologies, right? So this is just because of his request. Thank you so much, Godfrey, for such a request. So let's understand how we can build this kind of chatbot. So first of all, uh, before that, we have already built two different chatbot in my previous video. You can go and check because I won't, discuss more. I will discuss only more into the new part we have added into like Python and ChatGPT. Right? In previous video, I built chatbot with different technologies. Right? So, but creating UI using ReactJS and the .NET Core API will be same. So I won't discuss more in detail into .NET Core, Web API, and ReactJS. I will brief you how we will build. So first of all, talk about the ReactJS where we have built our UI. So in that UI, we will have you know a text box and send button where we can type just like what is AWS, right? It will give you a respond from your text or your JSON file. So whatever I just this is just an example that it is mentioned question and answer. From there, I just printing the answer or responding the answer here, right? Another example like benefit of using AWS, then it will write response from the chatbot using these technologies, right? So this whole UI will be built on a React.js custom QnA chatbot, right? It looks like this. Next pillar is the .NET Core. In the .NET Core, we will have the business logic layer. In this business logic layer, we will build all, we'll call some Python code, create a, Python child process, right? In this child process, it will create a process where Python code will execute, and then whatever code is written in the Python will execute here and get the response back from Python to the .NET Core, and from here you will respond back to the UI to print the response, right? Next, the Python will create a child process and will run the Python code from here only, right? Once we will run the Python code, it will give us the response, right? That response will move back to the React.js, the UI. Next pillar is the Python, right? In this Python, we will load our JSON file, whatever JSON file we have with question and answer in the form, we'll load it, and we have the LangChain library. From there, we will made our code to index our this file, right? Using the index, then we will use our uh, chat GPT, right, or OpenAI chat model. This will done through the langchain model, right? We will not do it. Langchain will do itself, like it will get our load our JSON file, do the indexing, and then it will return back to us with a response based on our question and answer, right? Once this is done, then the vector index, right, the JSON file will be indexed using the vector index, right? The file will be indexed, when we do the searching, right, and the index is required to find the exact um, answers. So once it is done, the OpenAI ChatGPT will, our code, our code will interact with the ChatGPT in the backend, right, through the LangChain, and then get the response back to us. So how it does, the React.js will call back the API or .NET Core API with the user input, right? And then the no .NET Core API will call this Python code and run it, right, with the user input, and then this OpenAI will call through the LangChain, and then uh, utilize this Python code will utilize OpenAI chat model through LangChain and respond back to backend API, this .NET Core API, right? And then this dot get the answer from Python code. This .NET code will get the answer from the Python code, and then Python model, and then it will print to the user in the React.js UI. And one thing is the prerequisites. Prerequisites is Python must be installed on your system. So that is the must thing, we have to install the Python before running this code. So it is time for the demo. Let's move for the demo now. Now we are in Visual Studio. So let's understand this. This code is similar to the previous one, the same project, right? I just copy from there and make the changes. Rename the project and make some changes, right? Let's understand. First of all, the same, right? We have the client. This client project we created for React.js. uh, in React.js, if you see, if you want more detail, you can go back to my previous video and see how we can create this project. So I won't go into detail. You can see the chatbot JX here. I have mentioned the chatbot, right? And this is the chatbot UI, and we are calling post method localhost 5000, right? This is the our server, the .NET Core API. So I won't go more into details because we have already discussed multiple times this in previous video. So please, I will request go and watch my previous video. So this is the React.js, and this is the server, right? The same code, as I said, we have the chatbot controller. So let's understand this is the important, right? So in the chatbot controller, this form method is called chatbot is called from the React.js, right? And here what we are doing is, first of all, we are creating a variable, string variable, that is empty. We will store our response in this answer, right? So it is required. Now we are creating another string, Python exe file, the C sharp Python. So what is this path is, when you download and install your Python, right? So okay, so let's understand how you can install Python. If you don't know, we'll see. So we are now Chrome. Let's say type download Python and click on this. Right, this is for Windows, right? You can download um, for Linux also, if your environment is Linux. So you can download the latest version 3.12.2, right? Download it. It will download a exe. If you can see exe file, you run it, the Python will automatically install on your system, right? So once it is installed, you need to install some other packages also. I will show you how. So Python will be installed when you download and install this package. Then Python will be installed with the pip also, right? So pip and Python both will be installed through this package installer. Now move. So once the package is installed, right, it will be by default path is this C Python 312 Python, right? But if you have some different version, maybe version will be different. Or if you may changed your path, then your path will be different. So you have to make change here for your Python path. Correct. If you are unable to do that, just ping me or let me know. I will definitely come back with solution to how to install the Python and all the configuration of the Python. So I'm assuming you would know how to install Python configure, right? So if not, just just comment me. I will definitely come back with new video how to configure the Python. And this is the string path. So I have Python code using chatbot by p.py. So I have written all my code here in this file. So we'll see how we have made the code here, right? So first one is the Python path, the exe path, and the script. What script do you want to run, right? So I want to um, run this script. So how you run your Python, right? Like Python space your Python file name space argument, whatever argument you have, right? So this way we will run. So similarly, why we are doing it, we are creating a process, child process. That child process will run your Python code, right? So here what I'm doing is I have the Python code. The Python code will run as a process or child process. This will run your Python code and mm, get the response from that code. So so now we understood this is the Python exe path. This is the script I have, and the argument, this argument is basically coming from the UI user input, right? So we are passing three things. One is the Python code, Python exe file, exe path, our Python code, and our argument. Argument is basically whatever question is asking by the user. That the question will go to this file. This file will process and then revert with the answer, the working directory, right? So there will be mess if you don't make a working directory. It will, you can have to give your path, like complete path over here, right? So we have multiple file, like the JSON file, everything will be should have in the this folder, right? I put all my code in this folder only. So this, if you can see, this is basically the path of this one, chatbot files, right? You can go see the chatbot file, python.net QnA chatbot. This dot server, under this is the chatbot file. You can directly have this whole file path, the folder path, as a working directory, so that your process will you get all your file from his this folder. So if you have different folders, all your files, you can give the working directory for that folder. I'm just saying it is here, so you can give. If your folder is somewhere else, right, you have to give the working directory, and this .NET, this Visual Studio should have access to get the file from this location, right? So this is done, right? Now we will create a process info or start info, right? Process info is basically this. Using this info, the process will create and run, right? So what process we have? The file path, the Python file path here, exe path, and we have the script path. This is the script path. We have the script and the argument. So this will run, how it will run, Python space our script like chatbot.py space argument. Argument, what is AWS, whatever the question is asking by the end user. User shall execute false, redirect start output true, redirect standard error true, create now no window true, because we don't want window, right? In backend process should be there. Working directories, W directory, this one, right? Now the process info is created a new variable, process start info, and now we will create a process like process space process equal to new process. It will create a new process within the using keyword, where once it is done, this will discard this process, right? Now the process start info is this one we have created, and then we will have two stream, right? One is the output stream. If the process is executed fine, right, then it will go to the output data received, like we will get the data from uh, the process, right? Then it will come to here, and this I'm checking string is null value. If the e dot data is not null, then we will log console.write line output, and we have created a variable, string variable answer, right? So we'll put our answer, answer from the child to the answer, right? And if there are error, right, error data received, then I will log the error and then put the error into my answer variable. Once it is done, we will start the process, and begin output reading. We will read the asynchronously. Will read error and the data, same two stream, right? We will start these two streams and get the data, and process wait for exit. So once it is done, then it will exit. So now we have the answer, right? Answer, either it is answer or error, right? Then we will return this to the UI. Understood? And then if in the try catch block, if we have error, we'll return an wait request error to the UI. So I think we understood what we are doing here is, we have the Python code, we have the Python exe file path, right? And we have the argument. So these three will be executed, and then we'll get the answer from the Python. So this is the process, right? So we have the other thing in chatbot file folder, right? Here we have three things. One is the chatbot.py. Here we have the business logic, right? Let's open this chatbot.py. Import OS and sys. So OS is basically we are just putting our API key into the environment variable, right? So here we are importing like text loader, vector store, index creator, OpenAI, chat OpenAI, right? On the LangChain. So here LangChain we are importing this LangChain. We need to install first. So how you can install it? You have to install like pip install lang chain. So once you execute this one, right, so these packages will be installed, right? Apart from this, maybe pip dot pip install open AI, right? So similarly, you have to install these packages. Again, I'm saying if you are facing any error, just let me know. But when you are run this, right, it will show you some error. If you have to install some other packages, it will let you know. Otherwise, you let comment me. I will definitely come back with all other things if you have error installing and configuring every other thing, right? But when you install the Python, and then you have to install this LangChain OpenAPI, then it will work, right? Now, so once it is done, This is the I said these are the prerequisites for Python, right? So once it is done, you install this one. Now you are importing this one, text loader, OpenAI, chat OpenAI model, and LangChain, right? So once it is done, once you are in, install these packages, then I have the API key, right? API key means Open API key. So how you can create an Open API key? Again, right? I'm not going to create again an Open API key. You can go my previous video, uh, the chatbot with the ChatGPT, right? There I have created a Open API key. You can go and watch, and then you can create an Open API key. Turbo 3, right? Whatever. So once you create a open API key, you have to put into, you can directly give the API key here, but I don't want to mash everything in the single file. It is best practice to have your key into separate files or the configuration file, right? So I am not installing the configuration into the app JSON, right? You can do this. You can put the your API key into app setting.json, right? And you can get the API key as a key, right? In the last video, you can see how I can get my key from the app setting.json, and then this API key you can pass as a second argument here. If you can see, this is first argument, you can pass the second argument, right? The first argument is the question, second argument will be API key. That way you can do this. But what I have did is I have put my key into separate file like API key. If you click on this, I have the API key over here, right? And this API key will be used for my case. And if you click on path, how we can get with open api.txt, um, read mode, right? And we can read f, this f1, f.read.decode uf utf8 this sig. So this will be decode your read, because if you do not mention this decode, then it will have some ASCII key into your key, right? Before your key you will have some characters, so that character should be removed, or we have to decode because it is encoded value. So we have to decode as a utf8, right? And strip function we use for if we have the blank space before and after, it will remove from your key, right? So this way we will get our key, our API key. We should have the environment variable. So OpenAI API key, from the environment variable it will receive, get, it will take by the LangChain module. So what we are doing is we want to have the query sys.args1. This is basically first argument. The first argument is this one, you can see. This is the script file, this is the argument, right? The arguments, the script file, and this will be our argument. If you have the other argument, you mention it. Then if you mention the other argument here, just I said the API key. Then in the chatbot you have to mention query, or maybe API key equals to sys.argv2. This way you can get the second argument from your API. So once you have your query with you, then the loader variable will load text loader, right? Text loader is QA.json. What is this QA.json? So we have our own JSON file where we mention question and answer. This question and answer will be loaded into the loader variable, and then we will create an index, right? Using the vector store index creator dot form loader, right? And loader. This loader will pass here, and it will create an index, and from this index we will query, like index dot query will pass our query the question here. So this will be, will get um, our answer to print. This will be print our answer. This answer will be get by our chatbot. You can see once it is done, if it is execute correctly, then we will get e dot data, right? And this e dot data will be into answer. Now, now you can see index, and then we will print it. That is, now we see the QA.json. QA.json, we have the question and answer. This is what is AWS, right? What are the benefits of AWS, and lot of things like AWS. This is my other, who is TGG Cloud. This will be the answer. So let's see how we can do this. Maybe we have understood everything from here. If not, just please, if you missed any, if I missed, anything in the whole process, just do let me know by, commenting me. I will definitely come back with the answer or solution. Right, so we have understood the code, three things: API key in the file, chatbot our code over here where we mentioned how to execute this. Basically, this langchain, right? This one vector, it will create an index, and then it will call the chat GPT or OpenAI in the backend, and then the chat GPT model will be executed to get the QnA, question and answer, process that one, and then it will return back to us, right? It is the backend process by the langchain. Okay, now this is done. Now let's run this process, right? How we can see, let's run it. Okay, this is the chatbot. Let us ask anything, right? So what should I ask? Let open this JSON. Let's say auto scaling in AWS, right? Let's put into here. I'm not saying everything, right? What is auto scaling in AWS? Because the AI model will understand, and based on based on understanding he will answer. So now you can see auto scaling auto adjust the number of EC2. You can see here auto scaling automatically adjust the EC2 response performance, right? Demand helping the performance and minimize the cost. So another thing is, who is TGG Cloud? Copy this one and paste, send. Now you can say TGG is an engineer who lives in Delhi. You can see TGG Cloud is an engineer who lives in Delhi. Correct. Now let's create one more thing, right? One more question. So let's stop this. Copy this one. Question should be, who is TGG DevOps? TGG DevOps is a YouTube channel who create DevOps tutorial. Okay, let's save it and run it again. Copy this one and run this one. Now say who is TCG DevOps. Run it. Now you can see TCG DevOps is a YouTube channel who creates DevOps tutorial. You can see TCG DevOps is a YouTube channel who creates DevOps tutorial. It comes in, right. So this way we have created this chatbot. Please, if you have any question query, please comment me, or if you have any issue implementing this one, please comment me. I will definitely come with in detailed video so that you should have each steps to follow and build. I will upload this code into my GitHub also. You can download from there. So let's move to the slides now. Now we have gone through the demo. We have seen how to implement each part of this demo, uh, but not in detail in each part, like the UI and basically in the UI uh, and the installation. But if you have any questions, you are facing some difficulties implementing this solution, please comment. I will definitely come back with detailed video. So I will upload my code into the GitHub. Please download and test. This will end to our video. But if you really like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment if you have any doubt. Thank you so much for watching my video.